Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I want to welcome you today to the Bridge Broadcast Show. I am your host, Tina Boyle White, and I'm really excited to be here on yet another day, an opportunity to really help you get from where you are to where you want and need to be in life. And so, this show is no different than any one that we've done. As you all know, we're in season 3 at the Bridge, and within season 3, we're really talking about how to be in that space of living whole and healthy, and living a life where your body is giving glory to God. And without going further, I want to take the time to thank WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network Incorporated for this opportunity to come and share this information with you. Now, this may not be a popular topic, but it becomes popular when you find yourself not in the optimal position of health. And so do listen. If you have anyone in your life who needs this information, please share the information. And I'm excited to have 2 guests with me this great day. I have with me Denise Brewer and Joan Lauber. And what I'll do is I'll give them an opportunity to share a little bit about themselves, to introduce themselves to you, and share a little bit about their health journey. So without delay, welcome Denise and Joan. I'll give you all an opportunity to say hi, and then we'll transition into your journeys. Denise, say hi to the audience.
Hi, thank you, and thank you for inviting us on. I have a rather lengthy health journey, as I think a lot of people do. The longer you walk on this earth, the more opportunity you have to have testimonies, for sure. I have developed, as a child, I wanted to be a doctor, so I am a certified naturopathic wellness coach, which is like a closet doctor. I just kind of saying, I like helping people be healthy, because your health is your wealth. I started at age 5 being sick, and they had no idea what it was for a very long time. There were a lot of in and out of the doctor's office, in and out of the hospital. And so up until about the age of 15, I remember spending a week in the hospital. And after running a battery of tests, the doctors finally decided to tell my parents, oh, she's just a hypochondriac, she just needs more attention. Well, it wasn't hypochondria, and it wasn't diagnosed until I was almost 30 years old. And what it turned out to be was an autoimmune disease called Crohn's. And if you're not familiar with that, that is where your immune system attacks your digestive tract, trying to get rid of it. It is a strong inflammatory response. It really does overtake your life. It's quite painful. And at that point, I started on a long journey of 20 years of pharmaceuticals and the best that medical science had to offer, which a lot of times entails surgeries. And that's what I had. But I've had at least 10 surgeries with what they call bowel resections, where they remove sections of your digestive tract because it is inflamed and it is blocked. To the point that right now, after the last surgery, they told me I would probably have straight gut syndrome, which means you just eat and it doesn't get absorbed. It just kind of goes right through the whole system. But as you can tell by looking at me, praise God, I am absorbing. So I'm here just by the grace of God. In 2009, my body completely shut down, and I went in the hospital in August of 2009 and did not go home until May of 2010. The best that they had offered my family, after actually telling them twice I wasn't going to make it through the night, and I flatlined twice and was in a coma. I mean, I went through the whole thing during that time. They thought best case scenario, she'll spend the rest of her life in a nursing home and probably will not be able to handle a wheelchair, but God. And I honestly do believe if I had found this line of products that we're talking about today earlier, I could have avoided that major shutdown. But you know what? I found it in this time, and I'm believing God for even greater health going forward from this. So I give God the glory, and I thank Him for introducing me to these products and to this system.
So Denise, you said some amazing things. You said this 5 to 30. The doctors did not know what it was. You had an autoimmune disease in essence, or shutdown, and it was Crohn's disease. And in my research, as I'm discovering all these sicknesses, everything really ties to inflammation, and it's just really just mind blowing how inflammation plays a role. And I remember you said, but God, all that happened was eliminated, and God showed up and really did something in your life. That is so amazing. And I remember during that time, I believe you're going through this, and I'm so grateful to see you. You look absolutely amazing. I just wanted to tell you to know that you had been in the hospital from August to May. If my math is right, that's about 9 months.
Yes.
There are many people out there who are struggling to get through some of the things that they're dealing with. And Denise, I would imagine you would have had to have faith on another level, like you can't believe. Can you talk a little bit about your faith, and then we'll go to Joan?
Yes. I had spent a lot of those years, I had learned about healing. I learned about our covenant of healing. I spent a lot of years. I had 4 pages of healing scriptures that I went through on a regular basis. I took that like I did like medication several times a day. And I didn't realize, because at times it would get frustrating. God, why am I not seeing something? Why is this still going on? I'm believing by his stripes I'm healed. I'm believing that we already have, that Jesus shed his blood. It's already done. And yet I kept being sick. But through it, there were times when I knew that I had won a battle. Healing came, but I didn't know how to hold on to it. So I felt like I kept winning the battle, but losing the war. And after this whole thing with almost a year in the hospital, the Lord told me that I was building a strong foundation that carried me through all those months in the hospital. So it was not just the prayer groups, and I mean, yes, it was them. They were there. My sister set up a prayer vigil in my hospital room. It was people praying all over the world, from different areas, from different ministries. But I had built a foundation that God could use during that time, with believing and meditating on scriptures and trusting God. Because I'm going to tell you, you can go to the doctor, you can take medication, but you need to be doing both of those by faith. You need to be believing God that you're going to have the good from this medication and not the bad. And you need to be trusting that he's going to guide those physicians because I didn't have textbook Crohn's. That was part of the issue. So everybody's body is different. And the Lord had to really lead the physicians in the process. I can tell you there was one time before a surgery when I knew, I could tell you where that blockage was. It actually felt like the handle of a broom was stuck in the section of my digestive tract. And I came across a cassette tape. Well, this is how far long ago it was. That was 15 years old. And it was a worldwide communion meeting. And I could not eat or drink hardly anything. I was headed for surgery. But the Lord told me, just take a little piece of cracker, a little sip of some juice. I took communion with that particular service, and he had me write on a piece of paper, and he said, I want you to write this down and give this to the surgeon. Don't be surprised if you don't find a blockage when you get in there. So that morning, I was there about to roll me into surgery, and I handed that sheet of paper to the doctor, a little note, and he read it and looked at me really funny. And when I recovered and he came into my room later, he was shaking his head. He said, I don't understand it. We saw it on the x-ray. I could not find a blockage anywhere. So, I mean, God guided me through the whole thing, through the whole process. And he was trying to get it to me the whole time. I had to develop to the place where I could receive it and hold on to it.
Amen. That is a beautiful word. And I'm so excited about what God does. He loves us so much, and he's designed our body to really help it kind of restore itself. And it takes our faith and it takes our belief. And you said it, the meditation and the trusting God to really, to assist the natural, the natural and the super together can do some amazing things. And Denise, if you can just really just touch on for a few seconds, and we're going to go over to Joan. You said you were not holding on to your healing. Help the audience know, what does it mean when you're not holding on to your healing?
Well, I knew that healing had come. I had had the experience. I could tell that I felt better. But then the first time that pain came back, or that the inflammation tried to flare up again, the fear was so strong because the pain was so strong. And because I would go, oh no, not again, I can't do this, because it completely knocked you down. I was raising 4 children. I couldn't spend all my time in the bed. That was my head. But my body was not allowing me to do much else. But the fear was so strong that I would say the words, but oh no, by His stripes I'm healed. I'm trying to work the word, but I'm saying it in fear, not in faith. And then before you knew it, yep, I was back in the throes of it again. I said, Lord, there's a key here I am missing. I know that it is your will that I'm healed. What am I missing here? And I saw Sadiqus, I can't think of his first name. He was on Sid Roth. But anyways, he said he had a terrible disease. He was given up for death too. And when he was asked, he said, I'm sure you had an opportunity to get sick again after you were healed. And he said, oh yeah, I did. He said, but this is what I stopped and asked myself when the pain came, is this a symptom or is it the disease? And I cognitively decided it's just a symptom, and I'm walking away from it. And that's how I remained healed. So it's been 10 years. I have not had any more flare-ups. I have not been on any medication for the Crohn's. Have I had opportunity? Oh yeah, it tried to come back, but I said, no, this is just a symptom, because I've been healed of the curse of that disease.
Thank you so much, Denise. You shared, you went right where I knew you would go. And that's how the enemy does. You know, in the word, he said, I came that you may have life in abundance to the full and to the overflow, kind of the paraphrase. But the enemy only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And how does he steal, kill, and destroy? The promises that God has for you is he does it by fear. And if he can get you to wrap around fear and to be in agreement with him, it allows those forces, because faith is not in operation, to take you over and to take you out, which is his main strategy for the body of Christ. Thank you so much. Powerful testimony. Joan, oh my God, share with us your health journey.
Hi. Am I still muted? Oh, okay. Hi. My journey's quite a bit different than hers, yet when I grew up very constipated. And so I had digestion issues a lot. I just didn't realize what was normal and what wasn't, because I'd go a long time without going. But when I got in college, I took some nutrition classes, and I was really intrigued by that and like that. And I did really well in that. And it got me very interested in natural ways of getting my body better. But it was in 2012, I was invited to go to a conference in Branson with Denise and a few other friends that were all in our business. I didn't know it at the time. And at the last day, I went with a friend and was working out. I was going to train, just starting to train for Ironman. And when I came back, showered, and I bent over to pick up the hairdryer, and my back went out. And I'm like, oh, it brought flashbacks to 30 years ago when my back went out, and I went to the chiropractor for 6 months, and I just never really felt better. And I thought, I don't want to do that now. And you know how the enemy just plays on your mind and makes it bigger than what it probably is. But I could not stand up. And I'm like, okay. So I crawled to the door and I called for Denise and my friend Joanne. And they came and they prayed for me. And I forced myself up. It hurt like crazy. But I was believing God, like Denise, saying, by the stripes of Jesus, I'm healed, and I'm just not going to move very fast and turn slowly. Make a long story short, we went sightseeing, moving very slowly, came back, ordered pizza. My stomach was empty, and our friend, the owner of the condo, saw me very uncomfortable, and she said, what happened? And so I shared with her, and she goes, oh, honey, mix her up one of our cocktails. And I'm like, she doesn't drink. I know she doesn't drink. What is she talking about? Because I'm thinking I need like 3 Advil, because that's the only thing I knew to get rid of pain. And they mixed up this isotonic mixture, which had OPC3, which is a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. She gave me 3 doses of that, and then something that we called part of our daily essentials kit, which had a multivitamin and a calcium plus and some activated B complex. Put it all together, nice tall glass, and it was empty stomach, which is real important when you take it. It should be on an empty stomach. And I was drinking, I thought, man, this tastes good. And I drank it slowly, and we're waiting for pizza, and I thought, you know what? I think it's feeling a little bit better. And she said, well, of course. And I thought that was kind of cocky. I mean, but I found out later she was $1 million owner in this business. She'd been in it for like 18 years, and she knew what she was talking about. She's helped a lot of people. Well, that just got me more interested. She gave me a sample to bring home of just the OPC3. And within 5 days, I went from not being able to stand up to running a race at the Jingle Bell Run, a 5K race. And I wasn't sure I should go real fast, but I by the time I was running, and I thought, yeah, I am. And I pushed myself. I got 2nd place for my age group. And I thought, I want these products for Ironman. And I've been using them ever since, just sharing them with people, with athletes, with others. And it's fun because you can see them get results. And that's what's so amazing, because I took organic pills and vitamins and things before, but I've never tried the isotonics. And there was a world of difference. I saw immediate results, just in a few days, and that was extreme. So that's kind of where mine goes.
No,
now go ahead.
That's amazing, because I want you to talk about, you had this whole journey around understanding natural methods for being healed. Talk to us a little bit about kind of how did you come to that? And we'll get to where you are today, but how did you come to natural? What was it about your understanding of Eastern or Western? Why natural?
Well, I never liked taking pills, and I react kind of hard. Like when I take medications, I had, reactions of rashes, or just, I didn't feel good, and I wasn't getting results from that. And the constipation thing, I came across, I learned about the oils like you did, and I was doing that. And the same lady that showed me about that also introduced me to this lady that did colonics. And I was very thin, but I had like this big bloated belly. And I thought, what's with this? And I didn't realize you're supposed to be going every day. And I do it once every few days or 3 days, or when I was little, I'd go a week, and I didn't know that wasn't normal. Nobody said anything, and I didn't tell my parents. But I ended up going and having these colonics, and I got this big long rope. It was like a 12-foot big black rubbery rope that came out of my intestines. And that just freaked me out, going, what else is in there, And I do that on occasion, and I had to be careful coming off of that, because that was like a fast. It was like a juice fast. And but I started going more regularly, and I just had to be cautious, because sometimes I'd jump into exercise too fast, and then I'd hurt my back. I realized I was in a weakened state at the end of that. I needed to build up my strength before I took off. So I've learned a lot of things. And one time in the colonics, she found this, because they can kind of see what's coming out through that. And there's this spider. And she goes, I've never seen one like that before. And found out later it was a precancerous spider. It was like the size of the back of your thumb, and it had legs all around it. And that came out of me. So I'm like, it's been a long journey. I've had IV chelation where they take out the heavy metals. I found out I had toxic mercury and nickel, cadmium, arsenic. I mean, I had a whole bunch of them. And I ended up going for some IV chelation to get rid of that. And it was painful. I mean, my veins were so tiny, and it was not a fun experience. It was very expensive. Thank God we didn't have any debt, because it was like a house payment every month, for it. And then I finally quit after 8 weeks. I couldn't do it anymore, but it got back down. The level went from 8, which is very toxic, to like 1.5, which is acceptable. So that got me interested in wellness very much. And I've been eating healthy since then, learning, diet. It changed since I went to college. I mean, they had the 4 food groups, as bread being a big one. And bread is not a good, it's like glue. That's gluten, and it sticks to your intestines. And, so I've learned a lot, over the years, and the trainings that we've been going through for the company too. So
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We just need to help people understand the journey. How do they get from a point A to point B? And it's really critical. You've said so much that people in America and pretty much everywhere, they don't trust their own body. They trust solely the doctor. And, gluten has been an issue that is coming out. And so our standard American diet, some would say that it's sad, but I'm not using this to bash, but what I am saying is that collectively we need to raise our awareness and our knowledge around this whole movement around being healthy. So Joan or Denise, one at a time, how did you which products, and as I told you, the time would go quick, which products, or how did you come to know which products to use for what was going on with your body? Let's go with Joan, and then we'll bounce back up to Denise.
Well, I went to naturopathic doctors at first, but they would put me on, the organic pills and things like that. But I didn't notice the difference as much until I started the isotonics, and it was OPC3. And I don't remember how to say that, but it's a long one. But the isotonic delivery system is what sets it apart and makes it more absorbable. It's bioavailable, because it's the same osmotic pressure as your blood, sweat, and tears, your body fluids. So it's pre-digested. And that's what I needed, was something that's already digested, that my digestive system wouldn't have to work so hard. It goes in, if you take it on an empty stomach, it goes down in like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's absorbed up to 98%. You look at pills and tablets, they have binders, they have fillers, and you can go in the health food store and there's $5, $15, $30, and you don't know, what do I take? And so you grab the cheapest one because it says it has the same thing, but they are not created equal. The isotonics are really the most advanced nutraceuticals that you can take orally. They're like an IV shot of nutrition because it happens so quickly. And it can be absorbed up to 98% depending on how healthy your gut is. You want your gut healthy, but you get more absorption. And I got relief. I was so excited to think, wow, I feel better. I had more energy. And I've been using them. I mean, I trained for Ironman and I did real well. I mean, I was amazed. It was exciting.
Wow. And I don't want to tell the world your age, but I know that you're over 50. So
63.
All right. Denise, since we're going, tell us how did you come to, you talked about Crohn's disease. Tell us how you came to these products, and one of you will get a chance to kind of give a quick, and we'll come back and share about the business. Yes.
Well, actually, my knowledge of this product or my coming to the product was reversed from Joan. I was actually looking for a business because the entrepreneurial spirit was so strong, and I know the advantages of having your own business, tax advantages, etc. And I had gone through several, and then I met Joanne and Sam at church, and I found the business through them, and then that's how I discovered the products. My education about C-reactive protein and inflammatory levels and anti-inflammatories and antioxidants all came after I actually was introduced to the business. And so that was how I came to it. I knew I had inflammatory response, strong inflammatory response, and up until then, that had only been addressed through chemicals. And
Okay.
so that's how when I discovered this, I knew then number one was going to be the OPC. That was where I started. Actually, no, I take that back. Let me back up a second. I started with aloe juice, but my gut was in such bad shape, I couldn't even drink a whole dose of aloe juice. I had to take it by little sips. And this was like just a few months before my body actually totally shut down. I didn't discover it until just before that time.
Wow, this is so amazing. And as we begin to leave, we have a few minutes. Joan, tell us you thank you, Denise, for sharing, this business. Joan, talk to us about this business, and what I'm going to ask you guys to do is to give some natural tips, as well as, if people wanted to know more about the business, to share kind of how do they come to know the opportunity to get healthier and or get wealthier. So Joan, tell me a little bit about what this business that you're talking about, or something around that. What would you like to share with us today?
Well, I'm a product of the product because I use them and I got results. So sometimes it's hard to do a business if you don't have a testimony or at least experience the products that we have. And so what I like to do with people is we do a free survey, a trial survey, and we offer like a packet of 3 of the daily essentials kit. And that was exactly what was given to me, only I had the 3 doses of the OPC3, not just one. And this packet, it gives people an opportunity to experience the isotonic delivery system. And if they would, they can email me or probably email or call me, and I'd be happy to share that with them. But they've got to be willing to take it 3 days in a row on an empty stomach, and then be willing to watch a short video which will explain those nutrients and about isotonics. And then the 3rd day they would have to answer a few questions. And if they're willing to do that, I will, offer that. That's how I came into the business. That's what excited me about it. And now we have a product training tonight that's free if anybody wants to come in the Milwaukee area at the 4 Point Sheraton at 6:30 to 9:30. They're doing a free product training. Normally it's $15, but because we have a big seminar on Saturday, there's 3 people that are going to be showing this that are great product trainers. You can learn about the products if you want. Is there anything else?
Denise, what would you like to share?
I would like to encourage people to, you go for maybe once a year wellness check or whatever, and they do a blood panel. Normally on the blood panels, they do not check your C-reactive protein or homocysteine levels. I understand that the homocysteine level, the check in your blood for that is expensive. Insurance doesn't always cover it. But C-reactive protein, those are 2 markers for inflammatory responses. Since so much of the inflammation that most of Americans are walking around with, as you referred to before, are lifestyle choices. It has to do with food, it has to do with exercise, it has to do with whether or not you are actually supplementing your body, because we're not getting what we need from our food system. So those are precursors that can lead to just about anything. And we see it lead to a lot of different things in people's bodies simply because, let's say my C-reactive protein level is high. Maybe in my genetic structure, people in my background might have there might be a history of digestive issues. Whereas in someone else's background, there might be a history of breathing or asthmatic issues or things like that. And so if their C-reactive protein level is high, that might be the part of their body that gets attacked. I do know God has placed in nature for us things that will help our bodies function like they're supposed to. And well, this line of products is these are plant-based source, and it's going into it in a way that is natural for your body to receive it. So we need to be proactive in taking care of our own health and not rely on someone else to tell us what to do, because the Lord will lead us if you ask him. And if you know some things to look for, because they'll talk about high cholesterol. High cholesterol doesn't mean that it may be something that's getting ready, that is something that you need to reduce. Your body could be producing more cholesterol in order to get rid of the homocysteine reaction, in order to protect your blood vessels, to keep it from being shredded by the shards and the things that type of inflammation does to your system. So I'm sorry, I'm passionate, and I'm starting here on. I don't want to get on a soapbox, but I would encourage people.
You're good.
Very proactive.
Proactivity, and I've heard several running themes throughout. Gut. Everything starts in the gut. That's a big thing. I just saw on the news last night that they found in baby food titanium, arsenic, and something else. The things that Joan was mentioning, dangerous. Just lead. That's what else was in there. Plant-based. God really wants us to have a plant-based diet. And Denise, you are so right that it is important for us to be very proactive, and that combined with fear, we find ourselves in a very subservient place as it comes to our body and below where God has really designed for us to be. I am just really excited. We are nearing the end. As people are watching this, they may be more inclined to reach out to Denise, or they may be more inclined to reach out to you, Joan. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to share. Where can people reach out to you? If you have a web page, a phone number, or an email that you'd like to share, go ahead and do it now. Denise, share with us and the audience, if somebody was more inclined to follow back up with you, how could they get back in touch with you?
Probably the fastest way to do that would be text or call. Phone number 262-355-5305. If you prefer email, you can send it to Seeker to Solver. That's SEEKER, the number 2, SOLVER @gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a page, Live Long, Live Strong. But please, if you want to personally message me, I'm there under my name, Denise Bennett Brewer, actually, or Denise Brewer. You should be able to find me. Let me know when you contact me. Please let me know that you saw this show and you'd like to talk to me about things that came up during the broadcast.
Thank you, Denise. And Joan, how can people find you, get in touch with you, connect with you?
You could do that the same way through text or a phone call. My cell is 414-803-3565. My email is Nana Lauber. It's Nana Lauber is my last name, LAUB as in boy, ER @hotmail.com. And you could also reach me on Facebook and private message me so I know, who you are or why you're trying to contact me, because I might not know you or probably don't know you. But you can reach me that way too.
Ladies, this has been such an amazing opportunity to really take proactive control and really get it within the knowledge. He said, for my people will perish for the lack of knowledge. In the Old Testament, we don't, it is my desire, it is my mission to not have God's people perish because they don't have the knowledge. And we're putting this out there. I just want you to know that this is going to be on Facebook, YouTube. When we get the link, you could put it in your networks, YouTube, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, that it's here for the education. And I just want to share with you, thank you for coming on and being with me, the host of the Bridge Broadcast show with the Christian Broadcasters Network, WYTV7. I will certainly have you back. When we come back, we will talk, maybe it's more specific about a specific disease or something of that nature, and we could path something out and talk it out from a wellness perspective, share testimonies. But ladies, we will have you back. It's been such an honor and pleasure to have you be with us. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you want to say one final word, we'll wrap that around and we'll take it out of here. Denise?
I'd like to say thank you for allowing us on the show and giving us this opportunity. I totally forgot I had a YouTube channel, but it's called Mama's Cooking Again. A lot of my shows are doing stir fries and trying to do some healthy cooking and different recipes on there. So yes, that YouTube is another way. I don't usually check that for messages, but I do have a YouTube channel. But thank you for this opportunity. This was actually fun. I enjoyed this.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. It went faster than you thought. Joan, any final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having us on and giving us an opportunity to share, because health is my passion. So I love talking about it, and especially coming from a kingdom perspective, you know, knowing the Lord, that he is our healer, but he also gives us, natural things to use to help. You know, he gives us gifts, and we got to use them wisely. You know, we don't always want to be in a healing line. You know, when you need healing, you go get healed, and then you just keep the same diet and the same lifestyle, and you're just ending back up in the healing line. I like being the one that's praying for the ones that need healing, because I'm healthy. So
absolutely. Thank you, ladies, so much. It's been a blessing, and I promise you we will be back. And for the audience out there, blessings to you. This is your moment. This is your time to take what you're hearing and go from where you are to where you want and need to be in life. And so we wish you the best. God bless you. See you next time. Be sure to watch me, share with a friend, share with a neighbor, but be sure to come back and see us on the Bridge broadcast show with your host, Tina Boyle White. Have a great day.